Hello, you guys, and welcome back to Mystical Visions. So, today we're taking a look into the near future and we're diving into what your next upgrade is going to be all about. This could be a spiritual upgrade in your mental, spiritual, psychological well being. It could be an upgrade in your health, your career, your love life, your personal family life, all of that good stuff. We're just gonna let the cards tell us exactly what you need to know today. And I'm very excited for this reading because with everything that's been going on lately, I feel like we're all in desperate need of an upgrade. So, as always, I've gone ahead and pre-shuffled three piles for you to choose from. For pile one, we have an amethyst. Pile two, we have a jade. If we can focus, that would be great. Okay, there you go. And for pile three, we have a garnet. So, as always, timestamps are in the video description below. I'll give you guys some time with these three piles and these three crystals to see which one's called to you intuitively. If you find that this reading resonates and you find it helpful, then do remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, because it really does help the channel out a lot. And without much further ado, I will see you at your pile. Pile number one, hello, welcome to your reading all about your next upgrade. So if you picked this beautiful amethyst crystal, which actually looks a lot like the agate ring I have on right now, funny, then this is your pile, welcome. So as you can tell, we have 4 pairs of tarot cards and 2 oracle cards, which for the Work Your Light, we will be reading from the book today. Just because it usually comes with a lot of advice. So we're just going to dive in. I don't really have a specific format. We're just going to look at what area of your life is going to go through an upgrade next. So to start with, we have the 5 of Cups in reverse. And that is clarified by the 2 of Cups. Oh, that's wonderful, because the 5 of Cups as a card talks about crying over spilt milk. Let me just adjust this a little bit. There we go. It talks about crying over spilt milk in that there's 3 cups that have fallen over that this character is crying about, but she hasn't noticed that there's still 2 cups standing. So to have that in reverse, clarified then by the 2 of Cups, sort of tells me that you're stepping into a time where you're realizing that there is still more joy in your life that you've just kind of overlooked before. That there are still 2 cups standing that you didn't see before. Perhaps you're learning to be more grateful for what you do have. And when we're grateful for stuff that we have, that tends to kind of multiply the things that we can be grateful for. You know, you get back the energy that you put out into the universe. So that is wonderful. The 2 of Cups also talks about soulmate relationships, your ideal partner coming in potentially, if that's something you're looking for, or just emotional fulfillment due to compatibility. So if you find that in your relationships you've been sort of out of sync with your partner, with your friends, your family, that might be finding a way to resolve itself. Perhaps because you start to give gratitude for the things you have. I do keep thinking of gratitude. Maybe it's worth exploring a gratitude practice. Just because if nothing else, it just gives you little moments of joy without changing very much about your life. So that is definitely worth exploring. But if you are looking for a partner, you might find that this turns out to be someone that you've known for a while, just never seen in that light, or something like this where, oh, it's always been my best friend. Turns out they are my soulmate. Or the person that lives next door that I see all the time turns out to have more to them than meets the eye. That kind of thing. Where you've always kind of known this person in the background, but for some reason you're now seeing them a lot more clearly. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting now, and it turns out that actually there's more than meets the eye. Yeah, with both these cards being cup cards and both of them alluding to the Two of Cups, this does feel emotional. It does feel like it might be an upgrade in your relationships in general. All right, next we have the Two of Cups in reverse. Interesting. And that is clarified by the Two of Pentacles. Okay. You might in the past have had to leave relationships with people that you thought were your ideal partner, and you'd had to leave it because it was kind of not working out with the rest of your life. I don't know if that makes sense. Say now you're someone who works a lot. You might have also thought, okay, if I work a lot and this person works a lot, we're obviously, perfect for each other because we understand it. But then it turns out neither of you was willing to make the effort to get away from work and find a balance and find ways to make the relationship work, that kind of thing. Or, you might have children and they don't. And then you're like, oh, perfect, this is a potential parent, like step parent for my child. And then it turns out they don't even like children, like that kind of thing, things that you thought you wanted in relationships. You're starting to realize that actually those things weren't things I wanted from someone else. Those are things I wanted in myself. And so when hang on, I'm just trying to figure out how to phrase this. Those are things I wanted in myself. So when I can embody those things, what are my needs now? Now that I am my ideal person, what are my needs now? Does that make any sense, pal number one? God, I don't know if that makes sense at all. But there's a lot of twos. So you might be seeing a lot of repeating twos, or you might do when your ideal person comes in. But it feels like you're approaching not just relationships, but everything with a sense of balance. Where in the past you may have looked for things that made you feel impassioned and made you want to chase and go get it and, work from like a fiery place. Now you might find yourself working more from a watery, earthy energy where it's like a little more calm, a little more relaxed, a little more receptive, and a little more balanced. Where you're not quite so narrow-minded, you're not quite so laser sharp or laser focused rather, on things playing out a very specific way. You're able to make space for things that you didn't expect. Because with the Two of Pentacles, I'm getting that, dynamic balance energy. It does feel like your entire worldview is changing, and that's inviting in new energy that you may not have experienced before, but you're starting to realize that this new energy coming in is actually bringing you a lot more balance and stability than you've ever experienced before. Interesting. That's so many upgrades, part one. We have the Empress in reverse. And that is clarified by the King of Cups. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so there's a couple ways I can interpret these cards. Let me get the more metaphorical way out first. The Empress embodies divine feminine energy, and it is a very receptive, very passive state of being. And that's in reverse. So you might have been very evasive when it comes to your divine feminine self, which again would correlate to that lack of water and earth energy, which to me is quite feminine. But yeah, with the Empress in reverse, it kind of feels like you've kind of avoided being in your divine feminine energy. It doesn't matter if you identify as masculine or feminine or neither or both. The point is that receptive energy, the more sort of calm, patient energy, creative energy, has kind of been shunned in favor of the fast-paced, go-getter, structured type of thinking in your life. And with the King of Cups is honestly probably the most balanced masculine and feminine aspect, in my opinion, in all of the tarot, because that king energy, the masculine energy of, protecting a kingdom, providing for it, and that cups watery energy of emotional stability and love and, depth, it kind of works in tandem. So again, coming back to this balance aspect, that's that, I can receive as much as I give. Finding a way to balance your inner masculine and feminine aspects. So that's one interpretation of these two cards coming out together. The other is that you might come to find that you don't have to do everything all by yourself. The Empress in tarot, it is a Taurian energy, and it's usually seen in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, which is this one. It is usually seen as a feminine character who is quite heavily pregnant and just sat there gestating among, the flowers and the garden and on a throne and all of that. In this context, so it usually talks about, being self-sufficient, being creative, being in your feminine power. In this context, in reverse, it's kind of making me feel like you're stepping away from the idea of you having to do it all by yourself, because the Empress is alone in this card, and it is it's quite an early stage in the major arcana. It's only card number 3. So it does feel like so far you may have been operating under the idea of, if I want something done, I have to do it myself. And just stepping more into this better balanced state. Because the King of Cups is emotional maturity. And I feel like there is a lot of immaturity when it comes to the idea of being hyper independent, of, I have to do everything myself. There is a lot of early wounds that comes from. And so when you're stepping into this King of Cups energy, you're learning not just where your power lies, but also your limitations. And you're learning to respect your limitations rather than see them as a flaw in your character. And because of this, it's sort of encouraging you to look outside of yourself. The Empress is a very internalized card, very, the entire world is in me. My inner world is the only one that matters. It comes directly after the High Priestess, and the High Priestess is very connected to the spiritual realm, very disconnected from the earth. The Empress is that earth element, but it's not quite out in the world yet, right? Whereas the King of Cups is literally like sat in the middle of the ocean. He's looking out into the world. He's holding a cup. He's holding a staff, I guess, but he is a sovereign, he's a ruler, he interacts with the world. And one upgrade coming into your life is that you might find it easier to communicate your emotions. You might find it easier to connect with people on a deeper level. And as a result of that, you might find it a lot easier to ask for help when you need it. And you'll realize, oh, life can be a million times easier when I let people do things for me, when I let people in like that, because it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of faith to ask for help, right? Because we are often vilified for asking, and we're often vilified for even admitting that we need help. And it takes a lot of courage to get that vulnerable with someone, even if we know them and trust them and love them, right? So you're coming to a place of strength. And perhaps someone who is a lot more emotionally mature, a lot more emotionally stable is coming into your life to help you feel comfortable with that idea. This could be someone who is older than you or just more emotionally mature than you, who's coming in and sort of making it safe for you to come out of your shell a little bit. And maybe that's how you find balance. But in either case, I definitely see you stepping away from your comfort zone a little bit and looking out into the world and being able to kind of decide whether you're taking on too much and whether you're sort of self-sabotaging instead of just asking for help when you clearly need it. Wow, there's a lot of emotional growth in your near future, Part 1. That is wonderful. You love to see it. Okay. Final tarot cards. We have the Page of Wands in reverse. And to clarify that, we have the Four of Swords. Page of Wands, that's that immature fire energy that I was talking about that you may have been operating from before, where you're like rushing into things, just following only your passion without stopping to wonder if you have the resources for it. Not just, financially, which is probably true. You probably haven't considered that before, but also just the energy resources inside of you can be so easily drained when you don't channel them properly. And you're coming into a more grown-up state of knowing your limitations, of knowing when to hold them and when to fold them, when it's worth pursuing something and when you can just let it go past. And to have that clarified with the Four of Swords, which is the card of rest, of regeneration, of taking a step back to regroup. I feel like you're definitely stepping away from that super fast-paced, super desperate to get things done type of energy, and you're stepping into a more calm, cool, and collected, stable, grounded sort of vibe. Yeah, the overall theme I'm really getting from this reading is just emotional maturity, emotional stability, mental stability, a lot more peace, a lot more groundedness. You might benefit from also incorporating a grounding practice. Just a little grounding meditation once a day is pretty solid. It will get you feeling a lot more focused, a lot more steady at the start of the day. That and gratitude for sure. But the space that you're entering now, moving forward, will feel a lot more structured. Not in like a divine masculine, gone crazy structured, but a lot more, everything just seems to work without you having to force it to. That's the idea, is that everything is gonna keep moving whether or not you're making it. And you're starting to realize that actually it is okay for you to take a step back now and then and to, recuperate. The world does not just stop spinning if you take your foot off the pedal for a bit. So finally, let's dive into your 2 oracle cards for any advice. We have water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, rest. The cards don't mince words now, do they? We just spoke about taking a break, taking a rest to recuperate your energy. Nourishment, body care, maybe treat yourself to like a spa day or something, or just a little massage. Something to slow your roll. That was a loud honk. I don't know if the mic caught it. But just maybe some time in the water or by like the ocean or something like this, just because it will help you reconnect with the present moment. I think that's the catch here, is that you are so sort of living in the future so much, where it's like on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one. And then because of that, you've kind of forgotten that the reason you work so hard is so that you can enjoy life when you're not working. But then you're never not working. So what's even the point of any of it, So the advice for you is definitely to take some time and just sort of celebrate how far you've come. Even if to you mentally it doesn't feel like you've come too far, you have been working hard. Even though the results may or may not be there yet, you've still put in the work. You still deserve to take some time off and celebrate the work that you've done. Whether or not it meets your ideal standard of success, it is still success. And you deserve to take some time to celebrate it and to recover from it, because it's not easy being a person in this day and age. Like, let me tell you, it's not easy. But you're doing it. You're here. You're doing the work. You're putting the effort in. And that deserves to be applauded. And the best way to applaud yourself is by giving yourself a break. So, Next we have Starseed. What lights you up? Beautiful. Maybe this is a time for meditation, to look back on what you've achieved so far and ask yourself, did this make me happy? Did this fulfill me? And will it continue to fulfill me if I keep doing this for the foreseeable future. I don't know, that's just kind of the vibe I got from this like pensive person. But let's see what the book has to say. This one is not easy to locate the pages because it's not alphabetical and it drives me bananas. Okay. Starseed, what lights you up? Starseeds are souls with a double mission: to raise their own consciousness and the consciousness of the planet. They are old souls who have incarnated elsewhere beyond this planet. Many starseeds arrive with a feeling that time is running out and there is something that they came here to do or create or contribute. If you pulled this card, it is to confirm that you are a starseed and you are being encouraged to answer the call, to follow what lights you up. Many starseeds spend parts of their lives trying to fit in or in some form of spiritual closet. If you are dimming your light to fit in, it is time that you stop and start embracing the unique light that you came here to share and treat your time on Earth like a glorious vacation. What lights you up? That could be something worth meditating upon. Part 1. What lights you up? But yeah, that is your message for what upgrades is coming your way next, you guys. I really hope this reading helped and that it resonated. If it did, please do remember to like and subscribe. Comment below letting me know how this reading applies to your life and your situation, because I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for being here today and spending your time with me and sharing your energy and letting me do this reading for you. I do hope it helped. You can stick around to the outro for another reading on my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. Pal number 2, hello, welcome to your reading all about your next upgrade. So if you picked this beautiful jade crystal, oh, there we go. Then this is your reading. So I've gone ahead and shuffled 4 tarot cards and 4 clarifiers, as well as 2 oracle cards for any advice. But apart from that, I haven't really formatted this in any way, so the messages are just going to come out the way they want to come out. But yeah, let's just dive right in. What upgrades can you expect? We have the 7 of Swords, and that is clarified by death. Okay. An upgrade coming your way is one that you do not see coming, and it is an ending. Now, don't be alarmed. I know the death card is scary, and although, is it? I feel like most of us who watch these readings get told that we think the death card is scary, but I don't know. It's usually just not. But the point is, this is an ending that is past overdue. And you may not see it coming. And when the ending does happen, it might be quite scary because you see this like shadow monster that this fox is afraid of. Like you can't see the actual monster, but it's like in the back. It might have been on the back of your mind that this ending is about to happen, but you've kind of avoided it. And now the universe is forcing your hand. I don't know what context this is in. It could be work, it could be relationship, it could be friendships, whatever that is. It doesn't mean that, you're being forced to quit your job or you're being forced to break up with someone or anything like that. I mean, it could be, but it's not necessarily that. It could just mean the way you've been doing things so far does not work moving forward, and there has to be a dramatic change in your life. This card is interesting because you see death riding a pale white horse, but you also see like a priest here, I guess, trying to stop him, and the sun rising in the back. So it's like in terms of imagery, it's almost like you're this priest. You've been trying to put off this ending, trying to stop it from happening. But then because of this, the sun in the back is not able to rise. And now you're at this point in your life where you need that sun to rise, because it is past time that you stepped into the next cycle. And so it's almost like the universe is forcing your hand. And that's scary. But I always like to think of like scary changes as the universe saying, let go or I will make you. Because while, free will is an important part of the human experience, so is the soul's plan. And if your soul's plan involves stepping into the next cycle, there is nothing you or I can do to avoid that, because it would be detrimental to avoid it. It would be almost like a waste of this lifetime. So your next upgrade might feel scary on the surface, but we'll look further into it. But I just want you to know that it is absolutely a part of your process, and it is part of your path, and it is very, 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 very important. It's not a fluke. It's not because the universe hates you, and it's certainly not a punishment. It is just part of your journey. So with that in mind, let's see. We have the Three of Swords. And that is clarified by the Seven of Swords again. Okay, it almost feels like something has been going on behind your back. Something that someone's been sneaking around on you in some way. Maybe you find out that someone's been talking bad about you behind your back. Someone's been lying, cheating, stealing. And the upgrade, so to speak, is this lightning moment where you suddenly find out. It suddenly hits you, the truth, and you sort of get out of your own way and bring an ending to the situation. But it does feel like whatever this is, you kind of have a sneaking suspicion, because both of these cards have like a shadowy figure sneaking up behind. So it's like it's been in your periphery for a while now, what's going on. But it's like you've blinded yourself to it just to maintain your situation the way it currently is. And the universe is saying, no, 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 no. You deserve so much more. You deserve so much better. You deserve honesty. You deserve respect. And you deserve a new beginning where you can grow and evolve. Because these challenges are just completely unnecessary. You don't need them in your life. And that's what the universe wants to take away from you right now. Not your happiness, but the things that are out to hurt you. And, endings suck universally. Like, they just do not feel good. We're all agreed on that, but they are necessary. And they do serve a purpose. And when this comes to light, you'll realize, oh, I could have ended this ages ago and saved myself all this pain and all this drama. I should have just trusted that sensation in the back of my mind that was telling me something wasn't right. But we're here. What are we going to do? All we can do is move forward. It does feel like there's a betrayal that's coming to light. And I know you probably don't want to hear this, because no one wants to hear about the fact that there's a betrayal coming up. But it is... like I said, it is part of your journey, and there's lessons to be learned here. Primarily that you should probably trust your gut instinct when it says something is not right. But that's an aside. That's just something we learn from experience. But anyway, next we have the Eight of Cups in reverse. Clarified by the Four of Cups. Okay. So I see why this has shown up as an upgrade. It's because previously you may not have had the means to walk away from this situation. You may not have had the ability to walk away from this situation. And now you're finally able to see a way out. The universe is literally handing you a cup. I know that's not the traditional meaning of the Four of Cups as a card, but this imagery, it kind of tells me that you've been unable to walk away from the situation for whatever reason, obligations and fears, and very valid fears too. But now the universe is giving you an out. See that hand coming in from the heavens? That is your spirit guides being like, here you go. Now you can safely walk away with minimal damage to yourself. Dang. This is a heavy situation, I'm not going to lie, Pearl, too. But it is an important part of your soul's journey, and so we have to respect it. We do. And it might not feel like you were always meant to go through this pain, because no one likes to think that we are ever destined for pain or anything like that. But pain teaches us so much more than just like a stable, constant, repetitive day-to-day. But I think the whole point of this reading for you is to show you that this ending, whatever this is inevitable. It is gonna happen because it is for your highest good. However, you are not alone. The entire universe is out here supporting you, is out here fighting for you, is out here with this cup in hand being like, let's just go, let's get out, let's move on. Let's look ahead to much, much, much better things in the future. Because whoever did this, whatever this situation is not worthy of you. Doesn't deserve you to suffer it. You were made for so much more. Every one of us was made for so much more. And it is time. Oh, wow. Final tarot cards we have. The Queen of Swords. There you go. You're cutting the nonsense out. It's time, pile 2. And to clarify, we have the Seven of Wands in reverse. Yeah, the Seven of Wands talks about fighting to keep what you have. I think you're finally at your limit. I think you're finally at the point where you're like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm ready to get rid of all of this, because none of this is serving me or my journey as an individual, or even the journeys of the people I love, really. You're finally getting to a point where you've gathered your courage, you've gathered your strength, you've stepped into your power, and you're finally ready to go out there and do the thing and not look back and wonder about people who don't deserve your time or attention, you know? The Queen of Swords is not an energy to be played with. The Queen of Swords is cutthroat. She does not mince words. She does not... What's that phrase? She does not tolerate fools, I guess, is the phrase. And she does not play about. Do you see in this particular card, I love this imagery, because do you see all the heads on the spikes in the back? She did not mess around. She took no prisoners. And I feel like that's the energy you're stepping into, Pile 2. And it's long overdue, I think. You've allowed people to walk all over you so far, and it has brought you nothing but pain. And for all the stuff that you gave to all of these people, you've brought nothing but betrayal upon yourself. Not only did these people not appreciate what you did for them, straight up threw it in your face. And you deserve to be surrounded by people who can match your energy, who can give as good as you give, who can teach you how to receive, who can appreciate what you bring to the table and match it. And you're finally coming to an understanding of just how important you are to this situation, and realizing that once you step away, all of this falls apart. And that's what needs to be done. Once you step away, this person has to crumble and rebuild. I don't think you necessarily will go through like an ego death or anything like that. I do think you will learn how to step into your power more moving forward. But I think you walking away is going to be a significant part of this person or this group of people's growth. And so in delaying that, you're also doing them a disservice, which is ironic. But you're at this point where you're like, I'm done fighting to keep something that doesn't serve me or anyone involved. And you're just ready to cut people out, honestly. And good for you. Because, you deserve it. You deserve to cut people out. Because they do not deserve you. Is the core of it, you know? I'm kind of seeing you as this, like, by the time this entire situation is done and over with, I'm seeing you as this power, this like, Miranda from The Devil Wears Prada. Is it Miranda? The person that Meryl Streep plays. I think it's Miranda. I don't know, the boss lady. That's who I'm seeing you as. You know how she does not play around. She doesn't care what anyone says or thinks about her. And she does not care whom she has to cut out in order to get what she wants. Now that's a bit of an extreme personality. I wouldn't suggest going that far. But I do see you as like that in your element, that in your power. That level of security and stability and faith in your abilities and your worth. It's beautiful. And I know it doesn't feel like you'll ever get there right now, but you will. You'll get there and beyond, I promise you, Pile 2. So finally, let's look at some advice about this situation. We have Star Brothers, Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, trust. Yeah, the universe is definitely coming in with a lot of protective energy here. And in fact, you walking away is sort of the universe protecting you from any further damage from the situation. I feel like all the lessons you needed to learn have been learned. And the only lesson left to learn is how to leave when something isn't serving you anymore. But it does feel like you have some very solid spirit guides and very solid angels and, higher self, whatever you believe in, watching over you. Especially with this Four of Cups, like I felt that instantly. I feel like there's a lot of very powerful energies watching over you and keeping you as safe as can be without interfering with free will. It might help to call them in and be like, get me out of this situation, please, because I'm ready to move on. Because they can't help unless you ask for help, right? Because again, they don't want to mess with free will. So if you do want divine intervention, you need to ask for it and allow it into your life, and then just wait for the cards to fall where they may. But I think your guides are really out here, just say the word, let's go, say the word, we're ready, we've got the cavalry, let's go. And all they're waiting on is your approval. So I would definitely maybe do a quick meditation to connect with your spirit guides, invite them in, invite them to take care of this situation with minimal damage to everyone involved, and kind of just wait and watch it resolve itself. And when it's time to get out, you get out. Maybe ask for clear signs on what to do next, and the signs will show up and you'll know. There are definitely very powerful energies around you, watching over you, and energies that are loyal to you. And once you step away from this situation, you'll find that you attract more of that energy from other people as well. Oh, that was beautiful, part 2. And we have trust your path. If you knew you were supported, what would you do? Yeah. There's a lot of energy of walking away from something, having faith that things will turn out in your favor. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Would you stay in this situation? Would you leave? Would you find a new life purpose? Would you rediscover your original life purpose that you put aside for some people who didn't deserve that? But, I digress. Let's read this one from the book. Trust your path. This is card number 54. Trust your path. The universe is conspiring. Keep facing your true north. Your job is not to pave the path, but to simply keep facing your true north and take one step after another. If you do this, you can't go wrong. The universe is conspiring. Don't waver or doubt. Use your heart as a compass and put one foot in front of the other. If you follow the invisible trail of what lights you up, you will light up the world without even trying. Things are not going to work out the way you are planning, but if you have a little faith and keep showing up, they will work out even better than you could possibly imagine. Don't micromanage the universe. Trust your path and let your soul lead the way. If you knew you would be supported, no matter what would you do? There is so much divine support for you, part 2. It's just a matter of reaching out and inviting it in. So that's your reading. I really feel for you, and I hope you find peace very soon, because you deserve it. You don't deserve to be treated the way you have been treated. But it's part of our journey, and we live and we learn. But if this reading resonated, I do hope it brought you some clarity and support. And if it did, then please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It helps the channel out a lot. Thank you so, so much for being here and sharing your energy with me and letting me read for you today. I really do. It helped. Stick around to the outro for another reading on my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. Hey Pile 3, and welcome to your reading about your next upgrade. So if you picked this gorgeous, gorgeous garnet, oh, there we go, then this is your reading. Hello. So I've gone ahead and pre-shuffled your cards. We just have 4 tarot cards and 4 tarot clarifiers. That will just give us an overall message. Whatever comes through, and then we have 2 oracle cards for advice on your situation and your upgrades and all that good stuff. So just straightforward, we're going to let the cards do the talking. To start with, we have the Hanged Man, a new perspective, Aquarian energy. Oh, okay, this is interesting because I've just finished recording the first 2 piles, and usually around this time is when like my energy level starts to sag a little bit, but I feel like I got a second wind now. I got like a fresh new energy right now the second I started recording for you guys. So you might be in this state of, oh, everything is too monotonous, everything is too same old, and then suddenly out of nowhere just something brand new and fresh just comes in. And that's that Aquarian energy. And to clarify, we have the 3 of Pentacles. It could be a new work collaboration, a new project, someone new that you start working with that helps you see everything in a whole different light. And it feels like you're sort of, I just heard you're becoming a child again, or like a novice again. There's like a collaboration coming your way, an opportunity coming your way, new people coming into your life in this feels like a professional capacity, who kind of change the way you see what you do, the way you see your purpose, your job, kind of give you a new perspective on everything, where you might have been feeling lately like you're quite stagnant, like nothing is moving forward. You've done everything there is to be done in this field, and you're kind of considering maybe leaving and switching over, and then this opportunity comes in just in time, and it's like you're seeing what you do through a whole new lens. That's so interesting. I've never had a reading like this before. Yeah, it feels like with this 3 of Pentacles that usually talks about professional collaborations, it does feel like you might be offered a new project where you work with someone you've never worked with before, and they just help you see aspects of your work in a way that you never have considered. And that kind of gives you a second wind. It kind of gives you a sort of an encouragement to try something in a way you've never tried before, to work in ways you've never worked before, or it just kind of reminds you why you started doing what you do. I'm getting very excited energy from this. Like very maybe there's more here than I saw, or I had forgotten how good this feels, like that kind of energy. The Hanged Man is an Aquarius card, which usually is linked to technology, communication, the world, like communicating across the world. So you might find that this project involves people from other countries, from places you've never been to, or places where you don't know anyone, and it kind of just shifts your perspective. You might travel. That's more a Sagittarian energy, but just putting it out there. But whatever it is, it's giving you a whole new view of what can be done in your field. Interesting. Next, we have the Nine of Coins in reverse. And that is clarified by the Hanged Man in reverse. Okay. That's funny. The Hanged Man is here twice, but the second one is in reverse. With the Nine of Coins in reverse. I think you might... One of the things you might currently struggle with a lot is having to do everything by yourself. Having to do all the work yourself. And while that is great when you reap the rewards and you feel like, oh, I earned this, I did all the work from ground zero, it also does lead to a lot of burnout. It's probably brought you to a point where you're like, this is so time and energy consuming. This work is so exhausting. It's almost like the rewards are not even worth it. And maybe that burnout is what leads you to open up to collaborators. You might hire new people, and when that load is taken off of you, you're able to go back to the roots of what you enjoy doing and why you started doing this work. The example I'm getting is if, say, you are a creator of some sort in like the digital space, you're a social media personality, or you make content, and you might be at this point now where you're doing the creation, you're doing the ideation, the scripting, the editing, all of that. And it's got to a point where you don't even enjoy the creative bits that got you started in the first place. And as a result, you're kind of like, is this even worth it? Is this even my path? You're kind of second guessing every decision you've ever made. When at the very core of it, it is just plain old burnout. And you're not able to see that because when we work alone, we are not really challenged in any way. Our thought process is not challenged in any way. And when our thought process goes unchecked, we can kind of take an idea and run with it. And then if the idea of maybe this is not my path at all, when that comes in, no one's there to stop you and be like, actually, you might be taking this a little too far. Let's take a few steps back and reconsider that thought pattern. So yeah, it does feel like you currently work alone, or you do most of the work all by yourself. And as a result, that has limited your perspective on what you're capable of. And when the burnout hits and when the negative thoughts start to come, you kind of run away with them a little bit. And your next upgrade involves bringing more people into this situation to not only offer help and support and, take most of that weight off of your shoulders, but to also offer opposing views, but in the best way possible. So when you are going on this negative self-talk tirade, these people can come in and be like, stop, wait, none of this is true. Here's what the objective truth of the situation is, and here's how you've managed to twist it around into negative self-talk. The opposing, challenging views are usually supporting your situation and supporting your well-being. This could also be someone you work with in terms of seeking help with your mental health. It could be therapy, a therapist coming in, a counselor, maybe talking to family and having them support you through difficult times. It just feels like a collaborative, nurturing space, is what I'm trying to say. And especially when it comes to your work. You might be taking on family members to help you work. If you run a small business from your home, you might be having people help with like packaging and shipping, that kind of thing. And I feel like you will find that people are so happy to help. And once all of that excessive load is off of you, you find that actually the work you do is enjoyable, fulfilling, and important. You just didn't see it because you were caught in like the sort of hamster wheel of repetition. That's beautiful. King of Swords. Mental clarity. Yeah, you're definitely getting some mental clarity. And that's clarified by the Three of Wands. And you're looking to the future again. Oh, there's an exciting energy for you, Pile 3. Oh my goodness. I'm so hyped. Okay. The King of Swords is all about mental stability, being intelligent, taking smart decisions, making good, sound, well thought out, well-rounded choices. And I feel like that is a direct byproduct of stepping away from that energy of burnout. You are able to kind of reconnect with your most capable self. I've never used that word before, your most capable self. Wow. That's interesting. And as a result, not only are you functioning a lot more efficiently, a lot more intelligently, but you're also able to spare some energy to look to the future, to look to further opportunities, to look forward, to, acknowledge, hey, I haven't come as far as I actually wanted to. I thought I had. I thought there was nothing more to learn here and no further growth, and that this was a dead end. But now that I'm able to see a lot more clearly, there is so much work I can and should be doing. And there is so much more to my purpose than I thought. It's like currently in this overworked, burnt out energy, you almost see your work as frivolous and meaningless. Oh, I feel like I've put into words something that you did not want to put into words. I'm so sorry, but I gotta say what I gotta say. I'm sorry. That's like my job here. But it does feel like you've sort of undervalued your contribution to society, all because all this work that you're doing is not one person's share of work. It's like 10 people's share of work, but you're only getting rewarded for one person's work, And so when we divide the labor, that same amount of reward can feel significantly more rewarding because you're not working quite so hard for it. And I'm not saying you shouldn't work hard, but you also need to be able to work in a sustainable manner. And I feel like that's what's missing from your job right now. But when we bring in that element of sustainability by dividing the labor, we start to realize that actually you do feel better rewarded, even if the reward itself doesn't change very much. Even if you end up having to pay people and thereby earning less, because you're putting in less work, the reward just, you can actually enjoy the reward and feel like you've been adequately compensated. It's just about shifting your perspective, So maybe you do get rewarded very well, but you're still unhappy and you're thinking, oh, maybe the fulfillment that I attributed to being paid isn't enough. Maybe I should be looking for emotional fulfillment, which I'm not getting from this job. And when the workload is a lot less, you realize actually the reason I felt unfulfilled was because I was working way, way, way more than one person should be working. And as a result, when I was getting paid one person's salary or one person's profit, whatever, I felt unfulfilled. But that's not because you're not making enough money. It's because you're doing way too much work. Does that make sense? And that shift in perspective suddenly brings in a lot more mental clarity. And now, instead of constantly being caught in the routine of I have to do this and this and this and this and this and this, and not having any time to sit down, now you're able to find balance, like a work-life balance, and actually have time to look forward and plan ahead and understand that there is way more potential here that you haven't been able to see. Final tarot cards. We have the Six of Coins. Yeah, you're definitely hiring people. I definitely see that big time. I feel like you're hiring a whole bunch of people, and once you get used to having so much more freedom, you actually see the joy in it. Clarified by the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah. I don't think you will ever feel a lack. I think the main concern that a lot of people have with dividing labor is, can I afford to pay these people? Which is fair enough. Everyone deserves to be paid for the work that they put in, including you, by the way. Just saying. But I don't think you need to be super concerned about that, because the lack here is not a lack of money or abundance. It is a lack of energy, like physical strength energy. And in fact, when you bring more people on board and when you start to work with other people, you'll start to realize that everyone's collective effort is able to produce a lot more product or content or whatever it is you do. If everyone is free to do their part in this project, you can get a lot more accomplished in the same amount of time. And as a result, you're making way more money. And so everyone's pay is kind of like paying itself off. I don't even know if that's words. I'm sorry. I'm so up there. It's been a while since I've felt this hyped about something. That's exciting, part 3. You're definitely finding collaboration, and I feel like you're the one paying these people as well. Or rewarding them in some way for the work that they do for you. But in either case, though, it's like it's from a place of abundance. So I don't want you to worry at all about how can I afford to pay people? How can I onboard people? It's not that there's not enough money. It's that you're working way harder than what you're paying yourself. Does that make sense? Just think about it, okay? Just take your time, think about it, reconsider. But I definitely see you working with more people rather than continuing to work by yourself. That's awesome, pile 3. You deserve this. Okay, so what advice do we have? Earth, learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. I feel like a lot of what you do is because you don't even allow yourself to have your human moments. It's like you expect yourself to be beyond capable. Maybe in the past, maybe growing up even, you were almost judged or punished for having human limitations. You were expected to do better than what anyone is capable of. Like, say now, imagine you were a toddler. You were probably like, there's an extreme example, but you were, say, admonished for not knowing Shakespeare as a toddler. Like that. I feel like you grew up with very, very, very high expectations, and nothing you ever did was good enough. And so as a result, as an adult now, that translates to how you treat your work as well, where any human qualities you want to get rid of within yourself. And being exhausted is very much a human quality. And so you want to allow yourself to feel that, and you want to allow yourself to acknowledge your limitations as an individual. And so you'll work yourself to the bone rather than ask for help. But now you're stepping into a cycle where you just cannot. And this may come as just like a full burnout, and you may not love it at first, but it is going to be a wake-up call, and it is an important one, because it will encourage you to not only, do better for your business, for your job, and get the help that you need, but also internally acknowledge your humanness and acknowledge that that's not a weakness. Having human limitations is part of the human experience. That's why we are here, is to experience growth through the very limited abilities we have. It is just a challenge. It's like a video game where, once you've done the good stuff, the easy stuff, the training bits, you then level up. You make your level harder in order to hone your craft, in order to do better and to learn and become a better player. It's the same thing. When we come into human existence, all these limitations, all this, you only have X amount of energy, you only have these many hours in a day, you only have 5 senses, you only have a limited number of resources. All of these are literally just challenges that make you a better player. And I feel like in the next cycle, you're sort of learning to not only acknowledge, but appreciate this, learning how to be human. Yeah. And finally, we have Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Okay, the reason the whole human aspect of it may have been an especially selected soul challenge could have to do with your starseed origins. And you may be here to experience growth through very solid, very strict limitations. Double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. I think that's kind of more your purpose, rather than all the legwork that goes with it in order to get your message out there. And it feels like being this person who has to do it all, it's kind of shifted your focus from what you should really be doing, which is channeling and uplifting humanity. And by getting the help that you need, you are being almost reintroduced to your purpose. But let's read this one from the book. Pleiades, Pleiades, Pleiades. page 118, if that means anything to you. It adds up to a 10. Okay. The Pleiadians are a group of star beings dedicated to raising the vibration of the planet and sharing new consciousness through creations and technology. What did I say with that Aquarius energy? They have been incarnating on Earth since near the beginning of humanity. You are a soul who has a double mission: to grow at soul level and to raise the vibration of the planet. If you have been called to write, speak, or channel, this is your sign to keep doing it. Your work is divinely guided. Of all the souls, Pleiadians are the chattiest, and so perhaps you have already started channeling some of this work into the third dimension. Thank you for doing your part in the great plan. Your presence and unique light is needed. Hold a card to your heart and say, I call upon Pleiadian consciousness of the highest realms and highest good of humanity to work through me. Let me be a channel for only the purest light of the essence of Source. Let me channel in a way that also serves me. That last bit, let me channel in a way that also serves me. I feel like that is so important for you guys to internalize. But that is your message for today, pile number 3. I really hope it resonated. And if it did, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, because that really helps my channel out a lot. But yeah, man, it's important stuff you do. Don't let anyone tell you any different. But thank you so much for being here and sharing your energy with me and letting me read for you. I have truly enjoyed this specific reading, and I hope you have too, and that it's brought you some support and clarity. Yeah, stick around to the outro just after this for another reading on my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.